Welcome, everyone. This is another great day in our discourses designed for Project 30 Before 30 International, coming out straight to you loud and clear from the African Town Hall Online Television, projecting the desire to raise the consciousness of the rising generations of Africa. Today we discuss Nigeria. Is this the country you want to sustain? How can you do it? Please discuss. We have a chance to come and discuss today about how we can sustain Nigeria. Nigeria is important to all of us, and it is important to the whole of Africa. It is not just about Nigerians, but Nigeria is very, very important to the whole of Africa. So, and we invite all Africans to make time to come and discuss Nigeria. Today, what rose this question in my mind is a video that a very young comedian made that is trending on WhatsApp right now. After viewing that video, and I thought we need to share that video with everyone so we know what it is we are talking about, what we are trying to sustain. So if you're already viewing us, we want you to leave a comment. We want you to desire and design plans to join us and participate. We want a discussion on this. If you're interested in discussing this issue, we would like you to make a comment that says so, and we're going to make time and ensure that we are able to do that. So, is this the country you want to sustain? The Nigeria that we have today? How can you sustain it? And we want you to discuss it. Personally, I can clearly state that there are clear indicators that Nigeria is a failed state, but the citizenry has either chosen to play the ostrich or to live in denial. That's what we are doing. We are either playing the ostrich or living in denial. The situation of the average Nigerian is so pathetic that, one wonders why nobody is talking about these issues in spite of the situation that we are seeing and facing in our hands. But the most worrying part is that instead of, discussing the way forward, each of the Lagbaja's 200 million mumu that make up this country are either too afraid to be killed by the reactionary forces in power or too foolish to know that they are not just at a dead end, but are in themselves walking corpses. I mean, that's the most disturbing part of the whole thing. Now, talk about being killed, fearing dead people, fearing being killed. Some months ago, about a year or so ago, I wrote an article that says that Nigerians are dead people who are afraid to die. And every time I think about things, I wonder how that is so why people live like that. You're already dead, but you're afraid of dying. How does that work? Now, this video by this young great comedian captures it all. Nigerians cannot say that they are not informed. They were not informed, as comedians used to re-echo when anything like this is being said. Will you say you're not informed? As they make a joke of the former first lady of Nigeria during the so-called Chibok girls kidnap. Okay. One of your Trudeau, to which we are all turning a blind eye, is that this pack of cats that we call Nigeria must come down. The only two choices that are available to us are, one, we either control the disintegration via a national dialogue now, or the whole fraud will collapse on us all while we are standing and moping like Lagbaja's 200 million mumu. I didn't say it. It's Lagbaja that said it in his music. So, but the purpose of this broadcast is actually to invite the rising generations of Africa to a consciousness that they must carry at this time. That consciousness is to come forward and discuss this continent, country by country. And when this discussion is going on, if it is about Ghana, if it is about Cote d'Ivoire, if it is about Togo, if it is about South Africa, if it is about Botswana, Rwanda, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, whichever country it is, we should not leave it to only the youth of that country to discuss. Because if it is only the youth of the country that is discussing it, it will be like the proverbial broomstick that is easy to be broken. But then if the whole of African youth are discussing their different countries at this time, it will be like the proverbial bunch of broom which nobody can break. That's what we are calling us. So if you will be interested in discussing this state of affairs, we want you to leave a comment in either our LinkedIn page, my LinkedIn page, Francis Imeribe, or YouTube channel, the African Town Hall, or the Facebook book group, Project 30 Before 30 International, informing us of your intention to participate in this great discourse. And then we will arrange a forum where we can have this discussion with you so you can make your input. Now, our drive is not aimless. If you will go and study Generation 17, which is the United Nations Development Program project, which is being sponsored by Samsung, it is inviting young people to speak up now, because the only way we can have social justice, the only way we can have rule of law, the only way we can have good governance, the only way we can have human rights respected in the world continuously, and especially in the African continent, is for the young people, the youth of the world, to speak. Maybe the youth of the world and the youth of Africa do not know it, but they form more than 60% of the whole world population. So there's no reason why any other demographic group should be ruling in the world today outside of the commitment and outside of the decision of the youth, meaning the rising generations of Africa, which includes both the youth and the young adults. You are more than 60% of the world's population. Africa holds more than 60% of the whole of the world's rising generation. So think about all of you together speaking in one voice about Africa, about Nigeria, about Togo, about Uganda, about Egypt, about Sierra Leone, about Liberia, Cote d'Ivoire, Gambia, Senegal, any of these countries, you coming together as African rising generation and speaking about it and indicating the things you want done in it, you will see the wonders that you can do, you can achieve by being together to do it. And this is exactly in line with the desire, design, and decision and the project of the United Nations Development Program and Samsung, which they are working together through Generation 17 to get the young people empowered. That's what we are pushing forward in this place. Now, without much ado, let's set up this video that is created by this great young comedian and have that video played so that you too can learn and hear what he's saying. And I know that these same issues that are happening in Nigeria, in our education system, is happening in all the other African countries. Not long ago, I read about a Tanzanian professor who said that the education we are getting in Africa is just a training on how to be obedient and not a training on how to create a life, how to develop, and how to grow. Let's listen to this great comedian who has provided us with the inspiration for today.
Of the greatest Nigerian gogo, who na lis ten o.
Okay.
Most of the lectures and courses that they teach in Nigerian tertiary institutions are so useless.
What?
No impact, no direction, and no relevance in the labor market.
You were not informed too?
You see, this copy and paste education that we are doing in this country is not helping our youth.
We must learn.
Advanced countries with advanced economies developed lectures to meet economic demands. And we, with our epileptic economy, we want to go and borrow those courses to teach students, knowing fully well that the labor market has nothing for them.
There is God.
I asked one Nigerian student from the East here what he's studying in school, and he told me he's studying archaeology. Yeah! And I'm like, what?
I don't know why it's going on.
How many public libraries and research centers are still working in this country? But every year, thousands of students go into Nigerian schools to study library science. What are they going to do with it?
This man!
And the first sign that you're studying a useless course is when they ask you, where will you work when you graduate? And you are like, you can work anywhere. Okay, anywhere, don't be addressed. Hello?
Man, know thyself. You don't know your friend.
We are a country that have refused to industrialize. We import everything, including toothpick. Yet, every tertiary institution has faculty of engineering. What type of engineers are we producing? We only have theoretical engineers with no place for practical practice.
For what? Why?
The only studying engineering in this country is like punishment. The only thing you do is to be dissecting complex formulas, carrying big textbooks as big as dictionary, engine mass. And when you suffer this thing for 5 years, you find yourself in public or private schools, teaching physics and collecting 15,000 naira in a month.
God should descend.
I remember going for one biology practical like that. A lab that was built to contain 500 students, but we are more than 3,000.
Jesus!
You'll be drawing something on table. Somebody is drawing on your back. If you want to stretch your back, and a slab go follow him. Okay, keep your back one place. You have mistaken me.
Look at you.
I think it is high time we bring in entrepreneurship and digital skill management as part of the courses to get certificates in tertiary institutions, rather than these courses that are creating more problems rather than solutions.
You think so they're wise?
I'm not saying this thing to discourage you from reading. No, study. Even the Bible says you should study to show yourself approved.
Yes.
School fee be scam, but the result is still very vital. But when your school is in section, read to get good results. But during your holiday, go and acquire skill. Whether it is digital skill or craft, something you can do with your hand. So that by the time you graduate, you have your certificate with one hand and your skill with the other hand. So that you can use your skill and survive until God decides to blow your whistle. But if you think that it is just that you go to school, I go to school, I be graduate, or go and book a cup.
Hey!
My friend from UK told me that when he left school, that companies where he did not apply for jobs, we are calling him for interview.
Oh my God!
Banks where he did not apply for loans, we are calling him to come and take loans. This is a country that knows your details. They know when you enter school and when you are coming out. And they know the type of companies that should need your services. They have already sent your details to them.
Really?
I now put myself in his shoes when I graduated in this country. I find work, even work, see me run. I walk out from office to office, to the point, Shuma down for.
Yeah!
Get the country
No. I think that this is self-expository. He says it all. This young man is just awesome. He captured the whole details of what Malay we are going through in this country. In Africa in general, it's not a Nigerian thing. This is an African thing. That's why we at the African Town Hall is interested in all Africa rising together to do it. It cannot be done by one group. If one group started, it will be like a broomstick, which is easy to break. But if it is done by the whole bunch, then it is like a bunch of brooms which no one can break. The invitation is open. Come join us to do what you must do so that the Africa we are dreaming about, the Africa that we want, will come forth. The current situation, most of the, in fact, 99% of all the countries in Africa are not sustainable. You may carry gun and keep the people down, but it is not sustainable, and we soon, the pack of cards that we are creating will be weighed down by young people who are helpless, defenseless, who had no choice than to rebound from the war where they have been pushed to. And this will be chaos. That's not what we want. Our intention here is to prevent, because the rule of the thumb clearly says that prevention is better than cure. So my invitation is for all the rising generations of Africa to come forward. Let's talk about the continent. Let's prepare an agenda, and let's start working on what will sustain us and sustain our lives in this place. God has created a great continent, endowed it with the best of all resources. We should not allow it to be wasted in the hands of rogues who are not even making any meaningful use of what they have. So what's the benefit of allowing it in their hands when they are not making any meaningful use of them, except to steal and stash them away where they rot? Some of them are not going to be recovered, because when all these rogues die, they do not even transfer these things, and the conditions of hiding the money for them does not include helping anyone else to have access to them. So we got to rise. We got to do something. We just have to start talking. Everything will start with talking. Welcome with me, Africa. Thank you very much for being part of today. If you should find this video on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, or WhatsApp, or any other group, we invite you to take a detailed study, commit to come and discuss, share this with your friends, like it, and leave comments that shows what you're thinking. And in fact, you can criticize what we are doing, because we know that by your criticism, we will improve very clearly. So we invite you to be part of this. Thank you, and have a blessed Africa that is coming forth.